when we feel things are getting a little bit out of control. And pangalawa, I think without naming names or even giving hints or something, we're seeing that there are certain moral authorities, authoritative figures who could and who may actually sooner than later make sure na tensions are not translate it into fissures, right? Because the last thing you want is mag-fracture itong pink movement, which has really a historic. Sir, can we remind people, ang laki ng chance ng pink movement to go all the way, di ba? Go for gold na talaga. I mean, the more I look at it, parang pink movement is the most solid movement that could prevent the return of Duterte's. Like, at some point, I can even see loyalista, a lot of non-partisan people, even rallying behind whoever the pink movement chooses. And pink movement is a movement, meaning it's coalitional, it's diverse, it's spectral. So, sir, can you remind again people what is the stake here? Hindi ito yung factional petty fights. The stake is really high. It could be the soul of our democracy. It could be Malacanang and the next administration and future of the Philippines, right?
Saka looking back, baka kinakailangan naman talagang daanan yung process na yun. Limawa tayo, hindi tayo disinterested full
Sure.
room eh.
Sure.
Partisan tayo dito eh.
Unfortunately.
We called out people eh, based on our value system eh, based on our analysis eh.
Right.
Kaya baka hindi naman unnecessary yon. Because we have to do it eh. We have to call out people eh, na tingin natin ay medyo nagko-cross ng mga gray zones, no?
Yeah.
Pero to fix these things, kailangan
You
natin ng mga tao na hindi tayo, no? Tayo kasama tayo sa ayusin eh. No? Kasama tayo sa ayusin.
Sir,
Pero
we're not. Are you saying we're only part of the problem? Are you saying we're? We can be part of the solution, hindi ba, Sir
I
Ronald?
don't call it a problem. I don't call it a problem. I call it a process. No, a process. No.
Process is a
Imagine
good
mo,
way.
galing tayo dun sa, we were almost decimated no 2019. No, we were defeated in 2022, and then we were able to go back in 2025. Imagine mo yan, yung intensity ng pinagdaanan.
Yeah.
Because of that intensity, marami talagang susulpot na dynamics. No? Yung iba, mas gustong makasigurado na manalo. Others, mas gustong makasigurado na hindi nila bibitawan yung mga prinsipyo. Others are somewhere in between. So because of that dynamic, ay talagang magkakaroon ng mga tensions. No?
Yeah, I mean, in a Freudian... No, in a Freudian sense, Sir Ronald, no, siguro ito yung mga subconscious na years, right? And then now you have overperformance, I would say, not only victory. So I think suddenly people are feeling, oh my God, the stakes are high. Actually, there's a chance by 2028 you'll have a pink president or administration. So I think suddenly people, and then that majority-minority issue. Kaya ako, my suggestion is, and I texted one of those senators in the picture, sabi ko, why week? Okay, that's a good step. But press con kayong tatlo, mag-usap-usap lahat, explain to people, show a united front. I mean, literally, I'm reading Leon Bloom's biography now. Diba? Ito yung Popular Front, diba? Nung 1930s.
Yes.
And how difficult it is to put different groups together, even if the cause is so crystal clear. In 1930s, it was fascism, right? So, mahirap talaga, but it has to be done, diba, Sir Ronald?
Yes, bukas baka medyo start yan dahil
Yeah.
bukas ay magbobotohan yung Senado. Most probably, yung may mga dynamics, baka magkakasama sila.
Right.
So, parang magandang bridges yan kung sakali. Going into itong
2028, yeah.
dismissal ng Senate tomorrow. And by the way, may mga malalaking rally na plano bukas sa Senado.
Oh, right. Sir Ronald,
So, defend the Constitution.
anong oras for people who are interested to join or something?
9
9 a.m.
a.m. Doon sa converging point nila sa GSIS, and then a short march going to the Senate.
And Sir Ronald, what time do we expect the debate tomorrow in the Senate, and what scenarios you're looking at? Because it looks like the best case scenario is that the Senate will just decide not to discuss this issue until the motion for reconsideration is addressed by the Supreme Court. Some would see it as a de facto oral argument already as we see it. Dahil while immediately executory, hindi siya final because they're MRs as we speak. So, are you optimistic you can like the good senators could hold the line to make sure at least hindi na trial and hintayin pa yung MR sana.
Yun yung best case. Pero
Yeah.
yung mga from the very start, dinelay na yung
Yeah.
pag-convene ng Senate as an impeachment court. Iba yung kanilang gusto. Ang gusto nila ay tapusin ito using the Supreme Court decision. No? Tapos kung halimbawa, gawin nila yan tomorrow na
Right.
wag ituloy yung impeachment court using the Supreme Court decision.
Right.
Yung Supreme Court naman, posibleng gamitin yung magiging boto tomorrow para sabihin na moot and academic na yung MR.
Right.
So parang kasi magiging vicious cycle. The pro-impeachment senators will use the Supreme Court decision para i-dismiss ng 20th Congress yung impeachment. At the same time, pag na-dismiss nila, the Supreme Court may use the dismissal of the Senate to mootage para gawin nilang moot and academic yung mga MR na nakasalang. So yun naman yung mangyayari.
Yeah,
Diba?
that's a very possible
parang-
scenario.
Sounds like a conspiracy.
Well, I don't want to say much. I'm still responding to but Sir Ronald, going back to this, what is your read of how the House of Representatives said na they're not challenging it, but respectfully they're clarifying the facts of the case. But some would say again, there's a debate on this issue. Kanina lang I was talking to some legal experts on this issue. The fact that you have the Solicitor General drafting that. I know automatic dapat yan, but the way it was drafted was really, really nice. Really, really good. And some people are sensing na parang, yun nga, parang some people are saying, baka there's an off-ramp here. There's a way here for everyone to have a win, right?
Hindi, makikita yung kasulat. No? At talagang sinet nila yung mga premises. No? Hindi siya fraughting, yung pagkakasabi.
Right.
Pero very compelling. Nakausap ko nga yung isang dating justice ng Supreme Court. Sabi niya, hindi niya ma-imagine, no? Paano hindi papansinin yung MR na yan ng Supreme Court. Dahil meron kang factual basis, no, na very quantitative. Meron kang qualitative basis, no, yung konstitusyon at saka yung jurisprudence.
Right.
No? Tapos hindi humihiyaw yung pagkakasulat. No, very reasonable, at the same time very fair. Kaya ang sabi nga ng mga iba, how can the Supreme Court not not respond to this? If alam mo hindi pa kasi nagkaroon ng unanimous decision yung Supreme Court na ni-reverse niya yung kanyang sarili. Hindi pa nangyari 'yan eh. Kung sakali, baka ito yung first time.
Well, you need 8, right? You need 8. I mean, there was a recent ruling I was discussing with Attorney Falsis this kagabi, and there was a recent ruling whereby the Supreme Court revisited as a unanimous decision and all. So I don't know. Maybe there are many ways to read into this, but I'm just saying, while there's a lot of worry that things will not move in the direction of that some people want, there's also I can see a potential also off ramp here. Kaya nga, maybe we're reading too much into this. But how do you see Martin Romualdez? We haven't heard him that much. Right? Parang that was the parang tagal ko hindi siya narinig. But how do you see his speech kahapon? I mean, he slightly seemed a bit nervous, but I think solid naman yung malinis yung The statement was quite airtight, I would say. And again, I would say constructively conciliatory while firm.
Yeah, defiant,
But respectful, yeah.
and at the same time uncompromising
Right.
and reasonable. No? So
It was a good speech,
medyo in fairness.
In fairness, diba? That was good.
In fairness, dahil hindi naman natin siya madalas narinig. In fairness, maganda yung kanyang
Fairness,
speech.
exactly.
Maganda yung kanyang speech.
Yun nga, the boxes are being ticked. And in fact, if you also look at the Philippine Constitutional Association, statements by different ex-justices, now you have at least 2 ex-justices, Supreme Court, sorry, two Supreme Court Chief Justices.
5 former justices.
Two ex-Chief Justices, exactly. Again, it's very constructive, very conciliatory. Like, it's not confrontational. Right? So kaya a part of me is hopeful na there could be an off-ramp out of this whereby everyone wins.
Hindi na ako nakakita, Richard, na former justices of the Supreme Court na ganyang karami
Right.
criticizing their Supreme Court. Usually, tahimik lang yung mga yan eh. Kahit meron silang mga reklamo, meron silang mga objections, hindi sila masyado nagsasalita in public. Ngayon, you have at least 5 of them.
Right.
No? Talking publicly, sharply. No? Almost antagonistically. No? Kaya ibig sabihin, may problema talaga. At dapat ma-realize yan nung institusyon. Kailangan ma-realize yan nung gumawa ng unanimous decision.
Right.
Na hindi to, this is not an ordinary situation. No? Ngayon lang ako nakakita ng ganyang katindi. Na
Right.
criticism ng 5 former justices of the Supreme Court, 2 of them former chief justices.
Right.
No?
Although, again, not me, but some legal expert would say, remember, initially there was a denial of a version, and then another version was endorsed na by former Chief Justice Bruno. Some would say, if you read it, it looks like the final the version that was not denied anymore and confirmed. That version, again, seems like going towards an off-ramp. Like,
Yeah.
like with all due respect, we can still, find a way out of it. Yun nga, like I'm just seeing all the parts coming
Yes.
together. The Solgen, the ex-chief justices, even the tone of Martin Romualdez, the Speaker of the House. Kaya nga, like, it looks like all those parts are moving in the right direction towards an off-ramp.
Yes, yes. Dahil dapat conscious din kasi yung all concerned na other forces might exploit this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yung disenchantment ng mga tao sa ating mga already weak institutions ay delikado kung saan pumunta. Kaya dapat tingnan nila yung the forest from the trees. Tingnan
Yeah.
nila ito as a societal challenge. No? Hindi lang, mga institutions natin ito na lalo no? At sana higher purpose will dominate.
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
At saka cynical calculation.
Yeah, yun nga, like, kaya ako,
Dahil others are saying, kaya na dahil na gusto, kaya pala na forthwith, kaya pala na remand, ay dahil dito. So, nagkakaroon ng ganung klaseng
conspiracy theories and all, yeah. Cynical thinking, yeah. Speculations, yeah.
na Ricardo, that cynical na pagsusuri
Yeah.
ay delikado for what remains of our institutions.
Absolutely. Kaya nga, again, I think we're quite consistent. So the same way na kanina we're saying, okay, just to go back, the same way na we're saying kanina na, we have to find the confliction and make sure we don't create, like fissures and fault lines, but just manage the tensions and all on the whole pink movement issue. I think that's the same reason. I mean, at the higher level, at the bigger level, we're saying, you may have agreements with the Supreme Court or this person or that person, but at the end of the day, you want to preserve the constitutional order. There's a way to agree to disagree within the constitutional democracy. So I appreciate that. Last part, Sir Ronald. So kanina lang we were looking at the survey. I call it the Kilay curve. Talagang laki ng baba ng numbers ng Senate since last December basically. Don't you think the Senate leadership might feel also some pressure to find also a way out of this, because it looks like there's some backlash against the Senate now. According to sila Okta, for the first time, mas mataas ang approval rating ng House of Representatives, so-called lower house, than the upper house. So, isn't this supposed to be quite alarming also, at least for the, hindi yung DDS camp, but the non-DDS leadership?
Di lang yun. Richard, dahil yung survey before this, isa sa pinakamababa ang binaba yung Senate President.
Right.
Especially do sa key corridor ng Luzon at saka NCR.
Right.
Bumaba si Senate President Chis Escudero by more than 14%. No? Nationwide siguro mga 4-5%. Pero sa NCR at saka Luzon, which is a vital corridor, ang binaba niya ay double digit. No? So, hindi lang yung Senate ang bumaba, the leadership of the Senate. Pero, I doubt kung itong mga ito na ang dominant sa kanila ay hindi naman higher purpose, ang dominant sa kanila ay political calculation, will adjust. Yun ang problema ko. Medyo hindi ako kasing hopeful ng iba na sila ay magbabago. No? Dahil,
but for the sake of their own self-interest, can they see na they're risking things a bit too much?
Diba? From the very start, itong forthwith dapat hindi na umabot dito sa decision ng Supreme Court.
Right.
Kung
Papahinga si
Senate
Sir
sa
Ronald
impeachment
kanina.
court
Oo.
at dinelay ng dinelay 2 minutes before the SONA, doon lumabas yung decision. No? Yung ganun ba na
Yeah.
ang dominant sa kanila ay talagang cynical political calculation. I doubt kung itong mga tao ito ay magkakaroon ng road to Kairos. No?
Right.
I doubt kung itong mga tao ito ay magkakaroon ng redemption this late. No? Kaya sana lang wag nila tayong i-drag dun sa kanilang implosion. No? Sana atakin pababa.
Yun lang.
Yung ating bansa at institusyon. Dun
Well,
sa kanilang lack of integrity at dun sa kanilang system.
O baka ikaw naman makontempt naman ng Senate. Meron mga ganun. Sir Ronald, pinaka last point, because people were wondering ba't wala ka daw sa StoryCon kanina. Sabi ko, nagpapahinga ka, as Superman as you are, Sir Ronald, as samurai as you are, and shogun as you are also a human being. And I gusto ko magpahinga ka, Sir Ronald. Thank you so much for sharing your time. Just on the last note, for those people who are interested to join tomorrow, why should they care, Sir Ronald? Why should people care about this? Why shouldn't people just be cynical and say, ganyan talaga? Why shouldn't people give up on our system? Because many people are saying, hindi ba all of these are signs na talagang this is a broken, rotten system a la Third Republic France? Why should people still have hope? And what is the reason to fight for this? Is there hope?
Because we saw last midterm election, young people are hoping.
Yeah.
Young people are looking for an alternative leadership. Diba? Young people are trying to move away from their indifference. Usually, pag mga bata, hindi yan bumoboto or just parang sila spectators. Nakita natin
Yeah,
yung
there's
2022,
that,
2025 election.
right, there's
They're no
that.
longer spectators. Hindi ko sinasabi na meron ng youth vote. Pero you can see the emergence of that youth agenda na basically it's about the future. It's about kailangan sagipin natin yung kasalukuyan for the future. Kaya tingin ko itong hope na ito, if given half a chance,
Right.
will dominate the next 3 years going into 2028. But we have to do our part, especially
Keep it
yung
going,
aming
yeah.
generation
Yeah.
na sabi nga ni Robin Hood Padilla, palaos na. No? So yun yung ating
Quite rich
in spite
coming
of the
from him,
cynicism,
yeah. It's quite rich coming from...
yeah, in spite of the desperation, in spite of the negative aspects of our weak institutions, people are waking up. At ako, yun ang nire-respeto ko. Sabi ko nga kay Randy David, ngayon ko lang uli nakita ito since the 80s. Itong
Yeah.
ganitong klaseng triumph of hope over
Yeah.
despair. No? Sana matuloy-tuloy yan.
Dapat ang nickname mo, Mr. Gen Z, is Sir
The
Ronald.
triumph of integrity of
Sir Ronald, ang nickname mo, Mr.
Yeah.
Gen Z, kasi you're, for all our Machiavellian analysis, I always appreciate your hope. I mean, on a personal note, Sir Ronald, are you surprised at how people are receptive to you in particular? Like, I was surprised how many fans you have. Like, everywhere I go, when they see me, oh, Richard, tapos after a few, send my regards to Sir Ronald. Like, can't you see me as myself? Like, why do they always see us as a package? Sabi ko, lalo ito, parating na sa kabilang channel din eh. So, Sir Ronald, personally, on a personal level, are you also surprised by this efflorescence, volcanic eruption of... No, on a personal level, sir.
Siyempre natutuwa ka rin, no?
Yeah.
Dahil na-appreciate yung jokes, na-appreciate yung bantag ulan. Pero tingin ko, after ng ating bare knuckle fight, baka lesser yung appreciation.
All right.
Makikita nila ang pagiging bully, no? Bully, lalabas.
Wait lang.
Tapos makikita ka na pasapasa yung mukha mo, baka...
Wait, lumalapit yata si Mami bigla. On that very reassuring note, Sir Ronald, on that very non-violent struggle, Gandhian satyagraha, like, thank you so much, Sir Ronald, for your love and support and for giving all of your energy. Maraming nagmamahal sa'yo. Oo, and sana magpakabait ka rin ako.
Salamat din sa Salamat din sa mga nagdasal kay Hermats. Lalabas na siya bukas.
Oh wow, thank you so much, sir. We continue to pray for strength and recovery. And I know, if there's one thing, maybe there's only one thing you and I share aside from being bullies, Sir Ronald, is our love for our mommies. Yeah, we're like, we're the strong mama's boy. Kasi may mga mama's boy na weak tayo, yung mga strong personality mama's boy. On that note, our love and prayers with you, Sir Ronald. And please also take care of yourself and see you very soon. Very soon, God willing. God bless.
Sige,
Pahinga ka lang, Sir Ronald.
bye.
Oh, nainggit na ako sa mga shogun mo. Talk to you soon. All right. Thank you so much. All right, guys, thank you so much. Magpahinga muna tayo si Sir Ronald. Kailangan rin ng pahinga. I've rarely seen him so low energy, but in fairness sa kanya, nag-step up din siya. And thank you so much for your love and prayers. Mukhang nag-recover na yung mom niya. And I was actually a bit worried about her. Kaya continuously. Paras kami ni Sir Ronald Ano kami, where our, alam mo na, we got our strength from, our mama. Alright, on that note, thank you very much, guys. And maraming salamat also sa lahat ng mga sumusuporta, nagmamahal sa atin, at all your prayers and love. Don't worry, tuloy ang laban. And of course, don't worry, we have strong networks of support and all of that. And we're, go lang tayo. On that note, see you soon. And dun sa mga gustong sumali bukas, don't forget, sa Senado, there's gonna be a gathering of different progressive groups to encourage accountability and continuously a constitutionally democratic way forward. Hindi lang sa Sara impeachment issue, but basically on transparency and accountability sa ating gobyerno. On that note, thank you very much. God bless and talk to you soon.